Wanna go closer? Wanna go closer? Baby. Wanna be closer, taking heart.
All right. Let me know in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, if things are sounding good. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me. The volume levels are good before we get things started. Seems like people can hear me. That sounds good. All right. Cartoon Fan, Scepter Wolf, Trey, Barton, Moose, Funhouse, Mason Wrigley, your mom, Pithix, I think that's how you say her name, Dorothy, the UI Fanatic, Jalen's Fun Channel. Is there anyone else? Alter Ego Bro. I think that is about it from who I can see. All right, let's get things started. All right, there we go. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? This is your boy Regularjosh1 back in the streaming. It's been a month. Doesn't even feel like it's been that long, but apparently it's been a month. I last checked, so yeah, it's been crazy. How have you guys been? It's been a while. Hold on a second, just very quickly. All right, there we go. All right, I think that should all be good. Let me know if you guys can still hear the music. I've noticed that in the other streams it's been somewhat louder, and I don't want it to be too loud, so just let me know if levels are good. Virginia Lake, always a pleasure to see you in the stream. Welcome back. Let's see, Jonathan. I think I said hi to just about Shane X, I think. What's poppin'? Doing good, doing very good. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, so far I've said hello to just about everybody. So again, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the stream. It's been a month since I last streamed. I've been posting, as you can see, videos here. I've also been posting a lot more shorts, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have, definitely noticed that I've been posting more, shorts, excuse me, on the, channel. There's a couple of reasons for that. Now, I'm still going to be doing videos. Videos are not going anywhere at all. It's just that with the current situation, I guess, in terms of, say, Gary the editor, there's a lot of things that are kind of going on with his life right now, particularly, with family and everything, and that's not something I'm going to delve into. That's his personal business, of course, so I'm not going to, blast that out everywhere. You know what I mean? But he's been pretty busy, to the point where it's not, let's put it this way. All right. When it comes to editing, say one of my videos, even if it's a 5-minute video, it takes a pretty long time to put it all together. And so that's a dedicated time that he has to take out of his time, in order to essentially basically make my videos. You know what I mean? Which I commend him for that a lot. I'm glad. Is that the correct word? I don't know. Either way, I'm definitely grateful for the fact that he's, he's able to do that regardless. You know what I mean? So, so when it comes to say doing the short videos, which is only a minute long, or the shorts, which is only about a minute long, that literally takes him 30 minutes to do at least. So sometimes it can take him a little longer, depends on if he has the time, you know what I mean? But, yeah, for the most part, it takes him about a minute, for the most part to do. So if anything, that's kind of why we've been doing a little bit more shorts, to kind of keep stuff coming onto the channel, you know what I mean? But also, at the moment, it's just a little easier, at least for him, you know what I mean, to edit stuff. I mean, of course, I could do my own editing, but things have also kind of gotten a little hectic for me in a way, especially now this month, because I think I've told you guys a while ago, I believe, about a show that I was doing for a streaming service, for a kid streaming service. I think I told you guys about that last year, and also that was the show where the creator of Johnny Bravo did a performance in an episode. So met him through that, which was awesome. I posted a video about no, I didn't post a video about that. I posted a picture of me and him meeting each other on set. So that was pretty cool. So I definitely told you guys about that. We are doing a second season. We just got like the new slew of scripts. We also have I think like on Wednesday we have a table read essentially. So we're gonna kind of like meet up with each other on Zoom, and we're going to kind of read through the scripts and whatnot. So that's gonna be very exciting. And basically in 3 weeks from now, we're gonna be filming the second season, which is pretty damn awesome. I'm very excited for that. So because of that, honestly, it's gonna be a little hectic, I think, coming out with a video, and not just that, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to create a video the week of filming. I might try to do something where I could possibly film a video before that week. So maybe the week that I'm doing like the filming of the show, I do happen to still have something up for that week. I don't know. It really depends, honestly. So we'll see what happens, I guess, in that regard. But that is essentially what the hell? Oh, okay. I didn't even notice that. Thank you, Omnimon, for mentioning that. I have no idea why it has grids on, Okay, well, I think that's probably, let's see, is that, yeah, it's, okay, so I did not know that it had, well, okay, well, you're just gonna have to deal with the freaking, you're gonna have to deal with the overmarks, because I overlays, I think, watermark, that cameo, so that's camo, that's the, oh, what am I trying to say, that's the app that I use to essentially kind of record, I mean, well, not record, but basically live stream from my phone. It's working now, because, like, for whatever reason, the other times that I've been doing live streams, like, strangely enough, my phone just wouldn't connect. I don't know why it wouldn't connect. Like, I would scan the barcode so it could connect to the app, essentially, and then it would just take way too long to load and would never connect. So I was using the like the computer's webcam for a long time, and so now, you know, it's working on the phone, so I'm using it now until it doesn't work again. So that's essentially what's happening. Virginia Lake says, that's really cool, Josh. I hope it all goes well. I hope so too. I mean, like, the last time we did like the filming for the show, it was definitely very fun. We have 6 episodes that we're filming now. And mind you, this is a non-union production. This was not it's not a part of SAG-AFTRA. I'm not part of SAG-AFTRA, and it's not written by WGA writers at all. So, like, this is, the company is not a union, well, it's not basically part of that big Hollywood conglomerate, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So it's not part of any of those, like, big producers or anything like that. So yeah, it's mainly like an internet thing. So yeah, so just saying, because, like, if it was for the strikes, we would not have been able to, or no. While the strikes were going on, we still would have been able to do the show. The strikes had no, like, effect as to whether the show was able to still go on or be written or filmed or anything like that. So yeah, that's basically what I'm trying to say in that regard. But yeah, but it's been a lot of fun, honestly. Your mom says the writers and actors better be getting treated right on your show. It is. Don't you worry about that, okay? Like, we get paid pretty well on that show, considering the fact that it's a kids streaming service, and it has, like, it's a lot of stuff. It's kind of like mainly a faith-based kind of streaming service, and so the show that I'm doing is also kind of faith-based as well. But excuse me. But yeah, it's not like a Netflix kind of streaming service, or, Disney Plus or any of that kind of stuff. It's just mainly, again, it's for fairly young kids, if anything. So the show is for young kids as well. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, but for what I get paid for, I'm not gonna say how much I get paid though, but per episode, it's a pretty good amount. You know what I mean? It's almost, I'd say it's almost somewhat close to how much I've got paid for each day that I was doing Bob Hart's Abishola when I did that show 2 years ago. So it's kind of somewhat closer around to that range in terms of how much I'm getting paid per day. So, and technically per episode, which is pretty awesome. So get paid pretty well. Writers are doing pretty well. You know what I mean? And you know, just overall, it's a great environment to work on, you know, because everybody there has been pretty awesome. It's never been a dull moment, never been stressful or anything like that. It's honestly why I'm looking forward to it, because looking forward to working with these people again. You know what I mean? It's been incredible. So, yeah, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. Yeah, so, and also, I forgot, like, so this coming week, I do the read-through, and then next Friday on the 13th, Friday the 13th, wow, it figures that Friday the 13th this year lands in October. It is so fitting, like, it's perfect, you know what I mean? But anyway, though, yeah, Friday 13th, I'm going to be going over to the studio and recording my songs for the show. So, that's also very exciting too. But yeah, so that's kind of what's been going on, recently, I guess, you know, or what's going to be happening recently, you know, moving forward. So again, something I'm definitely very, very, excited for. And October 13th is your birthday, Gary the Editor. Wow. Oh, man. This year, for you, it's on Friday the 13th. That's hilarious, man. I'm, of course, going to wish you all the best of luck on that day. Knowing how things have been going on for you recently, I'm wishing you the best of luck, specifically on that day, okay? Yeah. Says, your mom says, everyone better wish Gary the Editor a early happy birthday right now. Yeah, because I don't know when I'm streaming again. You know what I mean? I may not be, well, definitely not next week, I don't think. But yeah. But yeah, that is essentially what has been going on. Let's see. Okay, so your mom says, going back to it, says, good, because you and the other people you work with don't deserve any of that. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, again, it's been a great environment. We get paid pretty well doing that show. And you know, it's been great, honestly, because like I've been going on the streaming service because I have it for free since I'm in the show. So, you know, just so I can be able to check out the episodes. And they also gave me like footage of the episode that I can put into like demo reels and whatnot. So, or the episodes. So, yeah, but it's been great because like it's been getting good reception on from people who've been seeing it. Kids are definitely loving the show. So that's why we're having new episodes being filmed this in 3 weeks. And also what's been good about it is that because I've been talking to like the head content creator head of content of that streaming service, because he's also the director of this show as well. We called a couple of times, like I say, in the past couple of weeks or so, to talk about where the show is and like how many episodes I'm going to be in and yada, yada, yada. And next year we're actually going to be filming about 16 episodes. So the show's been doing pretty well, so which has been awesome. Yeah, so it's been great. It's been absolutely amazing. So yeah, so again, that's where things are with me as of right now. But yeah, so, Arto, sup, welcome to the stream. I'm not sure if I said hi to you, so if I haven't, hello, welcome. So yeah, everybody's wishing Gary the Editor a very early happy birthday. That is pretty awesome. Thank you guys so much for doing that. Man. All right, so with this stream, I don't know exactly how long I'm gonna be streaming for. I'd say maybe I don't know. Probably, as of right now, probably for about an hour or so. Probably around 5:45 my time is when I'm gonna end it, and then maybe a little later. I'm not really 100% sure though, but yeah. So we'll see. That really depends, of course, on everything. So let's see. Omnimon says, glad everything is working out for you, Josh. I'm gonna go for now, but maybe I will leave a after stream comment for some questions. And another wish you the best anyways. Wish you the best. Bye. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much for the good wishes and everything, and I really appreciate it. So again, thank you so much, and hopefully I'll see your comment afterwards, and maybe I'll reply depending on if it's a question or whatever, you know what I mean? So yeah, but again, thank you so much for being a part of the stream for a little bit. Let's see. So yeah, if you guys, I know some of you guys are asking some questions and what have you. If you guys have any questions that you haven't asked that you want, you know, or if there's any topics you'd like to talk about, again, it doesn't even have to be about, you know, what's been going on with Cartoon Network or what's been going on with television in general, you know what I mean? Like, if you want to talk about anything else, and if I have any sort of, like, knowledge or if I can add my 2 cents on anything, then, you know, or if I want to, I'll reply to you, if that makes sense. Oh yeah, there was someone that mentioned, yeah, Gillian Felix. I don't think I said hi to you, so welcome to the stream. Says, here's a fun fact: Paw Patrol aired 10 years ago. Yeah, 10 years of Paw Patrol. 2013, when I first found out about the show, before it aired, I did not know, like, and of course, when the show eventually aired and I started watching it, I'm like, okay, yeah, I enjoy this. I did not know that this was going to go on for 10 years. Nor did I ever see that it was going to get a movie. Nor did I see that it was going to get a second movie, which came out a couple of days ago. Nor did I see that it was going to get a spin-off, Rubble and Crew, which I've talked about a couple of times on my previous live streams, and I've made it known I don't like that show. I don't want to get into it, but I don't like it. And nor did I see that that we would already be getting in 3 years a third movie. Like, before, like a couple of days before this current movie, The Mighty Pups, premiered in theaters, we're already getting they already greenlit a third movie. That's insane to me. I mean, it's, yeah, so I did not expect for Paw Patrol to be as big of a franchise as it is now. But the thing is, you know, part of why Paw Patrol is so big isn't even just because of the show itself. It's because of the toys. And I think, like, when you take a look at, like, say, some of the newer episodes or all of these different versions of the pups, got the Mighty Pups, the Aqua Pups, the Dino Pups, the Cat Pack now, and all that stuff, right? It's very clear that it's definitely toys. You know what I mean? All of those are made clearly to sell a bunch of toys. It's a bunch of, they made a freaking joke about that in the Paw Patrol movie, where, like, Ryder pulled out, like, a t-shirt with I think it was Chase, Sky, and Marshall on the shirt, and said licensed Paw Patrol merchandise. These things sell like hotcakes. I thought that was hilarious when I saw it, but then it's kind of like, yeah, you know what? I don't think I realized how much that rings so true. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, like, it's, again, I just never expected for, I could have sworn he posted, oh yeah, he did. Omnimon says, I've come back again just to say best wishes, Josh. Thank you so much for that. And happy early birthday to Gary. Anyways, going to go for now, but I'll be in the after stream comments. But anyways, best wishes to all. Again, thank you so much for that. You're awesome for that. But yeah, like, oh yeah, I forgot about that part. That was funny. Yeah, I mean, cause look, I haven't seen the Paw Patrol movie in a long time until, like, Nickelodeon started airing it during primetime hours recently, so I kind of would check in every now and then. So I haven't watched the full movie since when it's been airing on Nickelodeon, but there's like been certain scenes that I've been checking out, and that one kind of made me laugh, and I was like, I completely forgot about that. Excuse me, but Alter Ego says gotta go. Bye now. Thanks for joining the stream. Hope you have a great day, a great rest of your day. But yeah, like it's I don't know necessarily how huge the toy sales for Paw Patrol are, but considering that they're constantly coming out with like new toys all the time, that's kind of one of the biggest reasons as to why Paw Patrol is so big. You know, now they also got a couple of video games. I think they have like a, is it on Nintendo Switch, or is it just a mobile game? But I think it's, damn, I don't remember, but they have a video game now. Bluey also has a video game too. That recently just came out, I think. Or has it come out yet? No, I don't think, I think it's gonna come out soon, but I don't think it has come out yet. But that also is that also for Nintendo Switch, or is that for, I don't really remember. I'm not that much of a video game guy. I used to be when I was much younger, but I don't really have, I don't have much, you know, I don't really play any games, you know. I would kind of like to get back into it, but I don't know. Maybe someday, maybe not. I don't know. But also, they're kind of expensive nowadays. Like, before, at least when I get, like, games for the Nintendo DS or something, like, they were not too bad. But I see some video games that are, like, $60, and it's like, yo, I don't know if I want to spend $60 for a video game. I don't know if it's just me, but, like, man, it's crazy. But, yeah, Paw Patrol has had a few games already, but Paw Patrol World is the biggest one so far. Yes, that's right. They've had, I think a couple of them were like computer games, and some of them were mobile games and stuff, so I think so. But yeah, like it's a huge franchise, and so much so, and I wish I could show you this right now, but in the new in season 11, because we're currently in season 10 right now, right? In season 11, which will eventually air sometime next year, they're going to have a updated look for the Paw Patrol series, which I don't think anyone really saw coming. I certainly didn't see it coming, but yeah, like it's getting an updated look, and the new look is kind of like, I mean, for the most part, the look of the show is still going to be the same in terms of how the characters are designed for the most part, but the things that are changing is like they're going to be, I guess it's going to be kind of like, say, a little bit of a mix of the movie designs of the characters and the show's design of the characters, if that makes sense. Like, you're going to see the characters with actual fur now. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to look a bit more fluffy than they currently do in the show, where they look like plastic. There's the, like, facial designs are slightly different. The animation style is also a little different too, because it's going to have a little bit more, like, I guess, expressive animation and whatnot. I think this is gonna have a bit more how do they word it? Whereas, like, I guess it's a bit more squishy kind of animation, where I guess like instead of the heads kind of just being static, it's gonna be a little squishy, like squish squat. I forgot how they said it, but I guess to make it a little bit more expressive in terms of the animation, maybe a little bit more bouncy-ish in the animation. I don't know. But there's like a picture from like one of the conferences that I think, or conventions that I think like Spin Master was at or whatever, and they kind of showed a side-by-side comparison of what Chase looks like currently in the series and what Chase is going to look like in the newer animation style moving forward. So that's kind of exciting. Which I think a lot of people were kind of wondering, like, when the show would ever, if they were to ever like update their animation style, but I'm kind of looking forward to see what that looks like. Not that I'm like an avid watcher of Paw Patrol anymore. Like, I mean, I like the first 3 seasons way better than the current seasons that air. So there's that, but like, I'm not an avid watcher of it, obviously, but I used to, well, I don't even know if I could say I used to be an avid watcher before, but you know, but it's regardless though, it's kind of cool to see just how big the franchise has grown and where it's continuing to go from here. So yeah. Brandon Heaton says this new Paw Patrol movie was actually good. I'm, you know, kind of thinking about possibly going to the theaters to see it. The only thing is, I'm gonna be honest with you here, okay? Like, I'm a little self-conscious, I guess, about being a 27-year-old, buying a ticket, going to a movie theater, and seeing the Paw Patrol movie. Like, I'm gonna be incredibly honest, and this is the same guy, might I add, and granted, I did go with some family members, because my cousin has I think she's 2 years old right now, or did she turn 3? I don't know. Either way, she has a little girl, and she loves Bluey. And I was able to tag along with them to go see the Bluey show at the Dolby Theater earlier this year. So, yeah, but either way, like, still, I went to see the Bluey show. You know what I mean? Again, I went with some family members, thankfully, but I almost went by myself because I didn't know they were going. I bought the tickets, and I was like, okay, well, I'm going to head on over. They saw that I bought tickets to see the show, and they said, hey, we can pick you up and drive over to the theater so, you know, we can all see it together. And it's like, okay, that works. But yeah, but like, again, for the Paw Patrol movie, for whatever reason, and the thing is, like, these movies, yeah, it's based off of a preschool show, but like, it's the movies are kind of made to where I guess it's more family oriented. Obviously, it's still based off of a preschool series regardless, but it's, again, more family oriented now in that sense. You know, it's not, you're not going to see a preschool movie. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I might see it. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. Maybe. I don't know. It really depends. It's possible. Again, I'm just kind of like a little self-conscious of like just being there by myself, a 27-year-old man going to see see that movie. I don't want anybody to give me any weird freaking looks if I do that. You know what I mean? But yeah, so that's kind of, you know, it's just stuff that's in my head. That's kind of, you know. But you get what I'm saying. Let's see here. Zach History Notes says, will season 15 be the final season? No, it's not. I don't know when the heck the final season of SpongeBob's ever going to arrive, but it's not going to be the final season. Definitely not. So, no. Your mom says, what's wrong with the current seasons? Can't be as bad as the current seasons of The Loud House. I haven't really watched the current seasons of The Loud House. I've kind of fallen out of the show. So I wouldn't, honestly, tell me in the live chat, like, what's exactly about the current seasons of The Loud House makes it bad? Because I've kind of seen that sentiment around on, you know, Twitter and certain other like videos and whatnot. I've seen people kind of mention that it's not really as good as the show as it used to be anymore. So let me know in the live stream. But yeah, the current season with like Paw Patrol, if anything, like it's not necessarily bad. It's just like, for me, it's lost the charm that the first 3 seasons had, if I gotta be honest. It is annoying that you constantly have characters like Mayor Humdinger coming back. Also, they have some characters, like newer characters that weren't in the first few seasons that have been in the later seasons, and some of them are just so stupid that I just do not like them at all. It's like, oh my god. It's freaking insane to me. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I don't want to get into it. But it's kind of more of the same of that. And also, like, I think it's just very formulaic nowadays. Whereas, again, the first couple of seasons, like, it wasn't exactly too formulaic. I mean, obviously, like, they're following some sort of a formula but, like, I guess, like, the scenes are a little bit more, like, different, if that makes sense. Whereas now, it's always like the dogs are at the lookout and they're playing, and then you see like some stuff happening in Adventure Bay, or Mayor Humdinger and his annoyance is doing something. Havoc happens, and then, you know, it's a whole thing. Like, again, it was a little different when it came to like the first couple of seasons. Like, they kind of had things be a little different each time, so it wasn't exactly the same thing. But, you know, I mean, I can't really, I'm not saying it as if it's like it's a huge complaint or anything, you know what I mean? It's a preschool show, blah blah blah, you know. So yeah, but that's kind of just like my that's my like observation where I've kind of like checked in every now and then, you know what I mean? So that's kind of where I'm at in that regard. Let's see. Virginia Lake says games are very expensive, $60 plus. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And Gary the editor says squash and stretch is the term. There you go. That's what I meant to say. Yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see like what that looks like in the new season 11 for Paw Patrol. That I'm excited for. But yeah. Let's see. Trying to catch up with the comments here. All right. Hold on. Just a very quick second. Hold on. Okay. Okay, maybe you didn't say anything yet. Because again, cause kind of looking for like the comment that said why the current season of The Loud House is bad. Which again, haven't seen it, so just like legitimately curious. Okay, so let's see. Shane, I'm just gonna call you Shane. Says, honestly, I think it's a disgrace that people still think that Dora is better than Paw Patrol, but that's just me. Yeah, I mean, it's not really a comparable show, to be honest. These are like way two different things. So yeah, like it's just way too different in my personal opinion. Yeah, obviously I would say Paw Patrol is the better show because I don't like Dora. So, even though I guess that's something we can get to in a little bit because like well, I made a short about it last week. Well, technically 2 weeks from now. Well, 2 weeks ago, I mean, and kind of talked about like which also, speaking of, Dora has a short film in front of the Paw Patrol movie, which if anyone has seen the new Paw Patrol movie, if you've seen, let me know how that Dora short film is, because I'm also curious about that as well. So yeah, and that short film, I guess, kind of technically shows you what the new show that's gonna come on Paramount Plus next year, what that's gonna look like. So that's gonna be very interesting. But also, I wonder if it gives kind of like a feel of what the show is gonna be like. Is it going to be a little different from the original series, or is it gonna almost follow the same formula in terms of, you know, how she interacts with the kids or talking with the kids on you know, the camera, or the songs and this and that, you know, who knows. I can already imagine I'm gonna have to watch a couple of episodes for a review. I don't know if I don't know. But hey, that's my channel. Let's see. Paw Patrol has become more Skeptor Wolf says Paw Patrol has become more like The Loud House, where they both used to be good, but they went downhill from having more episodes and became Nickelodeon's second biggest franchises. Yeah, again, I could say this. I could say that for Paw Patrol. I can't say that for The Loud House, only because I haven't really cared about seeing any of the newer like episodes of The Loud House, to be honest. So I can't really say much in that realm. Christopher Schlitz says, and the Schlit, I don't know. And the Warner Brothers 100th anniversary special for Teen Titans Go has been postponed. We're gonna get to that, all right? We're gonna get to that because I have my thoughts. Not just about that, but just about what's been going on with Cartoon Network recently, the past week. So we're gonna talk about that. Don't you worry. Gillian Felix says Mike Moon has recently joined the team at Illumination Entertainment to produce adult animated movies under the label entitled Moonlight. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. I never made a video about, I mean, I never really talked about Illumination Entertainment on the channel before, really, for much of anything, except for like Mario, I think. But yeah, I completely forgot that they were doing that, so it's gonna be interesting to see what they give us, I think. Huh? So Moose's Funhouse says basically they have been focusing more on the Casagrandes is inside the Loud House. Wait, so it's okay, so I know the Casagrandes series has ended, obviously. I think they ended last year. So is the family still in the newer Loud House series, or because that's something I didn't know if like if the Casagrandes family in general was just gonna go away, or if we were gonna see them a little bit in the newer seasons, which I think that seems to be more possible. But again, I don't necessarily know in particular. Zach History Note says, have you seen the Tiny Toons reboots? Yes, I have. I'll be honest. I can talk about this now. It's not really my thing. Like, I mean, like, I can definitely watch it, but it's not my thing. I don't know. It's just not my thing. I'm not really finding it to be funny, or it's a little, maybe it's a little bit too wacky for my taste, and I think that's the point. But like, I don't know, like, it just doesn't really do anything for me. I don't know what it is. So yeah. So now I'm sure you're wondering, am I going to end up making a video about it? Most likely not. Gary, the editor, will most likely be the one making a review of the Tiny Toons Luniversity reboot. Because I personally can't really say much about it. So, that's kind of, that's where I'm at. But yes, I have seen it. I have been kind of tuning in almost every week. I think there might be one episode I haven't seen, but I did record that one just to say that I checked it out. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at with Tiny Toons Luniversity. So yeah, just personally, it's not my thing. I can't say it's bad or terrible or anything. I'm definitely not saying that. It's just not my cup of tea in my personal. It's just not my cup of tea. That's all I'm saying. Shane says, I feel like what they should do with Mayor Humdinger is still keep him as a villain, but not as obnoxious. Agreed. Or, honestly, I liked Paw Patrol before they even, like, added any villains. Or added a slew of villains to the show, because all of the villains are just not written well. They're bland, boring, and annoying as well. And sometimes just incredibly stupid, so it's like, it's, So, that's kind of that's where I'm at with it. Mayor Humdinger in the movie is totally fine. All right, like he's a fairly good character in that film. In the series, he's annoying as hell. So, yeah. Let's see. Oh, all right. Still trying to catch up. Okay, I'm totally like on the way. Okay. Zach History now says, do you still watch Disney XD? Nope, I can't watch Disney XD anymore because I have Spectrum, and Disney decided to take away Disney XD from Spectrum, along with some other channels. So, can't watch Disney XD anymore. Oh, wow. I mean, it's mainly, like, Big City Greens, I think, and some of the cartoons you see on Disney Channel anyway, so like, I don't think I'm really missing much, but still, it kind of sucks that's gone now. So, but yeah, thanks Disney. Your mom says, well, ever since season 4, excuse me, the show has gone through a downward spiral over the years, with all the characters being flanderized, the writing became more lazy and lackluster, and the show's tone shifting. Okay. Has anybody like made a video about any of the recent like Loud House seasons? Because I kind of want to know, a little bit more about that. Because again, I just haven't really been like watching many of those, so I can't really say if anything, like if it's been worse, if it's gone better or whatever, you know what I mean. So I have no idea. So like that's kind of where I'm at. And also like I wasn't like the biggest watcher of the Loud House at all. Like I'd say maybe the first 3 seasons. I've seen most of the episodes, but I haven't watched any of those episodes in a long time, so I can't even really say that I remember too much about how the characters were, how the show was, blah, blah, blah. So I just don't have much of a perspective on that, so that's kind of, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of just something. Mason really says, honestly, Josh, I actually just like the Doris short film. It started to ruin my childhood. What was it about it that was bad? Let me know. Let's see. Your mom says, from slice of life to an outright fantasy/sci-fi show, and it became even worse once season 5 became a thing. So I just kind of stopped watching it after that season, and that already proved to me that it wasn't going to get better. Wow. they're making a second Loud House movie. Are they making a second Loud House animated movie? Or because they already did like a Loud House, a really loud Halloween, I think. So that movie premiered this week. Did I watch it? No, not really interested. You know, but yeah, like, are they making a second? I still never saw the first Loud House movie on Netflix. I never checked that one out. So I don't know. Like, so are they making well, you know what? I haven't heard that they're making a second one, so I'm not really sure if that's, I don't know. That might not be like a full, I guess, fully accurate. Maybe, I don't know. Let me know if it actually, like, because again, I haven't heard that they're making a second one. Let's see. Thomas Bush says, I didn't watch the movie, but I saw the new Door short on YouTube, and it pretty much follows the same format as the original. Oh, I didn't, so they posted it on YouTube, or did somebody just post the short on YouTube? I didn't even know. I might have to check that out. Cause like, and it's interesting that it pretty much follows the same format. Okay. Cause looking at it, it seemed like it was kind of different, or taking like a different route, I guess, but I don't know, maybe not. So I might have to check that one out, like after the stream, or maybe later on down the road or something. I don't know. Again, because I don't know if I'm gonna see the Paw Patrol movie in theaters. Probably would be nice to. I haven't been to the movies in a while. The last time I've been to the movies, honestly, was to see the Super Mario Bros. Movie. So, yeah, and that was a lot of fun to see it, especially since my friend Javon, like, you know, he saw it the day before, I think, and then he said, "Hey, you haven't seen the movie yet? All right, let's go see it." And it was like, "All right, let's go." And I had a fun time. I haven't been really much of a movie watcher recently. Like, Wish, for example, right? Like, Disney just came out with a trailer for Wish, right? And to be incredibly honest with you, that doesn't really do much for me. You know, like, it doesn't look bad or anything. It just isn't calling my name, you know? Like, and that's kind of the issue with a lot of movies recently. I wanted to see the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie. Obviously, I missed it. Missed the opportunity to see it in theaters. So I don't know when I'm going to be able to check that movie out. But that was one of the films that came out this year that I definitely wanted to see. But again, with Wish, like, it just isn't calling my name. I don't know what it is, but it just hasn't really. I mean, the last Disney movie that I really saw in the theaters was Zootopia, which was almost 10 years ago. That can't wait. No, Zootopia came out in 2016, so never mind. But that was the last time I saw a Disney movie in theaters. And yes, I did see Encanto, you know, but that was mainly because, like, there's a DJ streamer on Twitch that I follow. He's a Disney, well, he likes a lot of, like, Disneyland stuff and whatnot, but he's, like, also a DJ on Twitch. And on his Discord, he was streaming the movie. And I was kind of like chatting with some of the community as well. And it was a lot of fun doing that. So that's how I got to see Encanto. But yeah, other than that, I definitely wouldn't have seen it because I just wasn't interested in it at the time. And the movie was good. I enjoyed the movie. But yeah, I kind of been falling out of seeing Disney movies. I don't know why. Just something about them hasn't really been calling my name recently. Like Luca, for example. Luca's like, I don't know, but for whatever reason, like, I was excited for Luca, but for whatever reason, I just, maybe, like, when the trailer came out, I think something turned me off on it. It's like, oh, it's one of these stories. Okay, I've seen this before. I don't know if it's really worth seeing, I guess. I don't know. Turning Red. Nah. No, I'm sorry, all right, but Turning Red is just not my movie. I haven't seen it, but when I saw the first trailer, the first full trailer that came out for that movie, I was just instantly annoyed. I didn't like any of the characters, so it was like, no, I am not sitting through an hour and a half worth of that. Just forget it. Like, I'm just not doing it. I mean, people have told me, like, oh, but it's a really good movie. It's like, maybe it is, but I just can't see myself sitting through that. I'm sorry. Like, no, I can't. Soul is another movie that just didn't really call my name for whatever reason, which is kind of strange because, you know, it's got jazz in it. I'm like a pretty big jazz fan. I love jazz. I mean, obviously that's not the only reason to see the movie, but, you know, it has like a jazz score and whatnot. I even listened to like a couple of the some of the soundtrack from the movie, and it's really good. So, you know, but yeah, like for whatever reason that wasn't really calling my name. And then you had Strange World, that wasn't calling my name either. It was like, yeah, it just seems like a typical story about, you know, a father and a son and an adventure and blah blah blah. Seen it before, moving on. It turns out it wasn't really that good in either way. So it's like, don't think I'm gonna see that one at all. I don't know, but yeah. And then also Lightyear. The less said about Lightyear, the better, I think. So yeah. But that's kind of just like, that's just where I've been when it comes to movies recently. You know what I mean? Like it's just nothing's really calling my name to really see anything. Again, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was one I wanted to see. But I missed that opportunity. But I mean, I could still like see it on streaming or whatever, but it's you know, it's yeah. But that's kind of where I'm at in that regard with movies. The Paw Patrol Mighty Pups movie, like, again, the biggest thing for me is just going to see it in the theater, and do I really want to? I don't know. I just feel a little weird about that, only because it's like, I don't want anyone giving me strange looks, because it's like, hey, I'm seeing a movie, but it's Paw Patrol, it's for preschoolers. You don't have a kid. You know, it's like, not that anyone would say that, but it's like, I don't want to, you know, I just feel weird about it. But yeah, so that's kind of, you know, that's kind of where I'm at in that regard. Virginia Lake says Disney isn't quite what it used to be, and you know how much I love Disney. Yeah, we've talked in other streams with Mondo, and you know how critical I can be when it comes to Disney. Like, I love Disney, but man, have they been making some like crazy freaking decisions recently, and like it's crazy. But agreed, it's not what it used to be, unfortunately. Same for Marvel and Star Wars. Hopefully things change. Yeah, that's what I've been hearing from people too. Like, again, my friend Javon is a pretty big fan, I'd say, of Star Wars and slightly of Marvel. Maybe not a big fan of Marvel, but you know, and he kind of says the same thing with those two as well. At least with Star Wars, you know, like he's a big fan of like the first three movies, of course. I'm not fully sure how he feels about the prequels. Not 100% sure, to be honest. I don't fully remember if he's like a fan of those or if he's indifferent. I don't remember. But he didn't like the sequels. You know what I mean? He was not a fan of the newer Star Wars trilogy. So I guess that's what they call it. Excuse me, because again, I don't know much about Star Wars. But yeah, like he's not a fan of those movies. And so, I mean, and honestly, I don't know how he feels about the Mandalorian and what was the newer series that came out on Disney Plus, because of course Disney has to have a new Star Wars series coming out every freaking month. So, and because of the strikes, of course, we got to slow down, you know what I mean? But hey, they have to make a new series every time, right? Same with Marvel. So, but yeah, but I don't know how he feels about those two series, but yeah, it's kind of just been, you know, a whole thing with that in that regard. Going back just a little bit. Oh yeah, Exploration says I prefer Coco over Encanto, but it's still good. I haven't seen Coco either. I haven't seen a lot of Disney movies that came out in the past decade, so let's just say that, because if I list out any, I'm gonna be here all night. All right. That counts the live action remakes, because I refuse to watch any of those. Like let's not even get into it. Excuse me. Northwestern Railway says, yeah, I checked out after the Loud House midway through second season. Hadn't caught up with anything after that. Not even the Casa Grandes in the first movie. The Gary, the editor, says, I love Turning Red, just in case you didn't know. Yes, I know you love Turning Red. I know. Oh, man. I almost got you, again, like the last time I went to Disneyland, I almost got you like, well, they had like a big fluffy kind of like wallet, that was obviously, May, I think, as a red panda, and I almost got it for you, but because I know how much of a fan you are of Turning Red. I don't know when I'm going to go back to Disneyland. I'd like to go back this month because I don't want to miss their fireworks, for Halloween. But I'm definitely going to be going during the Christmas season. I can guarantee you that. All right. Multiple times if I can afford it. But yeah, almost got you something. And next time I go to Disney, I might still get you something. I don't know. It depends, but we'll see. Mason also likes Turning Red. Shane says, besides why are red pandas called red pandas if they aren't even pandas? Well, I think they're in like the family, I guess, of the pandas or something. I can't really fully explain because I'm not a biologist or a zoologist, you know what I mean? But yeah, I think they're just in the same family, I guess. So it's something along the lines of that, I think. Your mom says it was enjoyable for what it was. Was that also in reference to Turning Red, or is it in reference to something else? Sector Wolf says, I love Turning Red. It's really good, but yeah, the trailer was very weird, but the movie's actually good. It became one of my favorite Pixar movies. And, honestly, something like that could happen to me. I could end up checking out the movie, saying, screw it, I'll watch the movie, and really enjoying it. But, like, again, I just have to say a stark no of ever checking that out. As of right now, no thank you. Excuse me. I hate that it keeps jumping to the okay, so the new Ashaka, is that how you say it? Ashaka or Ahsoka? I don't know Star Wars, so I don't know how to say some of these names, but yeah, I haven't asked Javon about like how he feels about that show. I mean, because we haven't hung out since we saw the movie Mario, so it's been a while. Hopefully we can catch up very soon. But yeah, like I don't know how he feels about that particular show. I've heard. I don't know if I could say I've heard a couple of things. I think some people say that it's pretty good for Star Wars anyway. So, yeah. So that I guess that depends if that makes sense. I don't know, but like I have to ask him like how excuse me. I have to ask him how he's been doing, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Did the chat just do? No, there was something. Okay, no, here it is. I think. Let's see. Okay, you know what? I think I'll just skip to the bottom because for whatever reason, it's kind of like what. Okay. So Gary, the editor, says, I've seen them all. You've seen them all what? Were you talking about all the Pixar movies that I listed? That's all the movies you've seen? Or were you talking about Star Wars? Because as far as I know, I don't think you're a Star Wars fan, or are you? I don't know. I don't know, man. See, this is the problem when it comes to like the way the chat is on this page. Like, for it's kind of hard to. I don't know. Virginia Lake says Ahsoka. Okay, she is one of my favorite characters. Okay, cool. The editor says, yes, I was referring to all the dicks of Disney. Did I wow. I'm not even gonna address that. I'm just moving on. Yes, I was referring to the Disney/Pixar movie LMAO. Okay. I was wondering, because it's like, as far as I know, you're not a Star Wars fan. You never talked to me about that. let's see. Gillian says, do you prefer a show with more adventure, action, comedy, or slice of life? That's a, God damn it. God damn it, Alex. Gee Christ. But, Shane says, well, I'll just act like you didn't say that. Yeah, I think, yeah. Scepter says you almost said the D. Yes. You didn't hear anything. I said nothing. Shut up. Christ, man. Hey, you know what? We're live, so screw it, okay? But anyway. But to go back to Gillian's question, do you prefer a show with more action, adventure, comedy, or slice of life? That's a really good question. I don't know. I definitely will say that I do prefer more shows that have comedy in it. More action or adventure or slice of life? Yeah, that's a good question, to be honest. Maybe I would say probably more of a mix of comedy, slice of life, and some adventure, I think. I mean, to be honest, all of them are good genres, I will say, you know, like if you have a little bit of action, a little bit of adventure, comedy, slice of life, you know, it's all good, I think. So yeah, that's a good question, you know, like, again, I don't think you could necessarily go wrong with any of them. Like, I think a mix of all four, or at least a mixture of comedy, action, and adventure is definitely good, you know what I mean? So that's kind of where I'm at, I think. Like, okay, I don't know how the hell Alexa heard me all the way from here. Like, it's still talking. Okay, whatever. That's weird. Might be a little creepy. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, let me move on just a little bit. Okay, Dorothy says, what do you prefer, a script-driven or a storyboard-driven? I don't know. Is there any storyboard-driven shows that I've ever seen? I don't know. I'm gonna have to pass on that one because I'm not fully sure what you exactly mean. Unless you're talking about in terms of like visuals and animation. I don't know, to be incredibly honest. Exploration says, do you ever review Disney nighttime shows or just their movie content? Their nighttime shows. You're not, I'm sure you're not talking about like the Disney parks nighttime shows, I'm pretty sure, right? Or just their movie. I don't really review much of Disney stuff, to be honest. You know, like, say, for example, I haven't reviewed Big City Greens, haven't reviewed Haley's on It, and that's a show that I definitely enjoy watching. Both of those, you know, I haven't, I said that I was going to review Moon Girl, I think, but I just never did it. And I think it's kind of too late for me, technically, to do that right now, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, but I haven't really done a lot of, like, Disney shows or movie, you know, reviews, if anything, so, for the most part, like, nah, I don't really do a lot of that stuff. Let's see. Sester say, this is why I don't use Alexa or Google or any voice-related machines. I mean, I was yelling Alex. Like, I don't know how you mix up Alexa and Alex. You know what I mean? They don't even sound... Yes, it's almost spelled the same, except one has an A, one doesn't, you know? But it's... I have no idea. Like, what the hell? Exploration says, actually, I'm kind of was talking about the night. Okay, you were. You know, I would do a review of nighttime shows at Disneyland. It's just, I don't know if this is necessarily the channel for it, because I don't talk about Disneyland or Disney parks all that much. I mean, yeah, I did do a video talking about, like, the 50th anniversary of Disney World and how much they completely botched that celebration. Excuse me, but yeah, but that was kind of like a rare video, I guess, because it was just something I just wanted to, like, when the 50th anniversary came out and I was seeing a lot of this stuff, I was kind of like, I don't know if I can say that I was ranting, you know, but I was just more so kind of just shocked at like the little that they were doing. And it was like, okay, I kind of just got to talk about, well, actually, no, part of it, I think, if I can remember, was that Alex was like, hey, I was talking to him about it too. And he was like, hey, maybe you can make a video about it, because he wanted me to make content for the channel, of course, you know, because sometimes he gives me, sometimes he'll give me like suggestions for what videos to make, you know, on this channel, because sometimes I kind of can't come up with a particular video. Sometimes, like, it sucks, but like sometimes I like try to come up with a video. It's like, oh, I want to come out with a video this week, but there's not really much that I want to talk about or anything, you know. But yeah, he gave me that idea. And so I said, okay, yeah, sure, I'll go ahead and post it on the video, on the channel. Surprisingly, it did pretty well. But yeah, but to answer your question, no, I don't necessarily do like reviews of anything Disneyland related when it comes to the channel. It would be cool to do that, but again, not necessarily on this channel. I do have another channel, but I haven't posted on that for like over a year, and I barely even do anything there, but that's a little bit more theme park oriented. It's meant to be a vlog channel, you know what I mean? The thing is I just can't do vlogs, man. Like, I've tried it a couple of times, but I'm just way too shy to do that. Like, I can't do, say, what my favorite Disney vlogger slash streamer, Five Fires, Mondo. I literally cannot do what he does. Walk around the theme park with holding your camera right in front of your face. Be like, hey, what's going on, guys? This is your boy, Regularjosh1. We're here at Disneyland. I can't do that. I can't do that, okay? Like, I legitimately cannot do that because I'm just way too self-conscious about, like, other people seeing me. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't want people looking at me be like, what the hell is he doing? You know what I mean? Like, every time I go to Disneyland, I do see people vlogging, and mind you, I wouldn't be that obnoxious. He's not that loud either, you know? But, like, even so, it's like, I'm kind of awkward on the camera when it comes to a vlog, you know? As much as I want to do something like that, like, I just don't think I'd be able to, do anything in that regard. I mean, the funny part is that when I do my Instagram, right, every time I go to Disney, I'm always like recording videos for Insta stories, right? I am always doing that, or sometimes I'll do reels. And usually it's sometimes kind of pictures with captions on it, and, you know, a lot of people who follow me on Instagram are like friends and family members. They like seeing me posting that, so that's kind of why I do it, because it's kind of a way for me to go to Disney, but also kind of bring them along with me, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's kind of something I can do. It's just, again, turning the camera on me while I'm at Disneyland and kind of just talking to the camera. It's not really easy for me to do. If I'm walking in a crowd, can't do it. If I can find like a place where I can sit down and kind of just chat, you know what I mean? That would be easy, but like not, I can't necessarily, again, I just like, you know, and granted, should I care that people are going to look at me and think oddly of me, of like talking into my phone or whatever? Probably not. Am I ever going to see these people ever again? No. Should I care about what they think? No. But at the same time, that's just how my brain works. You know what I mean? So yeah, but yeah. But I will say at the very least, exploration, one of my favorite Disney, I'd say one of my favorite all-time Disney park nighttime shows, I think, definitely has to go to, Illuminations, Reflections of, I think, Reflections of Earth, is that what it's called? Reflections of Earth, I think that's what it's called. It was at Epcot, and me and my mom, we would used to go to Disney World, like, pretty much a lot. Well, we've been 4 times together, but that was, like, all practically in the span of, like, 4 years in a row, right? Because she used to have, like, these, conferences that she would go to, in Florida. And so of course I would be tagging along, and so because of that, we would be in Orlando, and we would either go to SeaWorld there, we would go to Disney World, and and I was like still in elementary school around that time. And so Illuminations at Epcot was a show that was the only show that I actually saw at Epcot, because Illuminations played there for such a long time. And it's one of my all-time favorite shows because it's such a different show from almost anything you see at Disney nowadays. And it's very, very special. Like, a lot of people love that show. And, of course, people wish that show would come back. It's just a very special show. So yeah. So that's definitely one of my favorites. But, yeah. But also, like, recently with, like, say, recently, with... Disneyland, they had a show called Wondrous Journeys, and that was one of my favorite shows at Disneyland. I think it's one of the best Disney fireworks that I've ever seen there. Because it kind of shows like because the show has projections, and it has like so many like I guess nods to all of the Disney animated movies that they made over the course of 100 years. And it's fantastic. It's fantastic. And it's an incredible show. I got to see it twice. I went to the final showing of it, and it was one of the coolest experiences ever. And so, yeah. Virginia Lake says Illuminations, Reflections of Earth. Yes, yeah. That show's part of my childhood. I consider it to be part of my childhood because I saw it for the very first time when I was 9 years old. And so and the last time I went to Disney World was in 2010. So Epcot has changed so much from the last time I went there. So I'd like to go back eventually. But yeah, like that's kind of why I've been, that's why it's one of my favorites, because it's the first and only like fireworks show I've ever seen at Epcot. And again, it's just a very special show. Anytime I see it now, especially with like the end of the show, it's definitely something that kind of makes me tear up a little bit. You know what I mean? Because again, it's like, oh, it's my childhood and the show's gone. No. So yeah. Shane says, I went to Epcot for the first time a few weeks ago. Not gonna lie, pretty impressive. But the walking was so painful. Man. And the crazy part is, and I'm pretty sure that you probably went to the World Showcase at Epcot, I'm sure, because that's all the way at the other side of the park. All the times I've been to Epcot, I've been there 4 times. Every single time we went back to Orlando, every single time I went back to Orlando, we always would go to Epcot. We only went to Magic Kingdom once, I think. We went to what was called MGM Studios at the time, now is Disney's Hollywood Studios. We went there 3 times. Epcot, again, all 4 times. And Animal Kingdom the last 2 times. Because when we finally visited Animal Kingdom, we both fell in love with it. So, yeah, Animal Kingdom is definitely one of my favorite parks as well, because it's just how beautiful it is. So I would love to go back, especially to visit Avatar Land. Like, I really, 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 really want to visit that place. But out of all the times I've been to Epcot, never went to World Showcase. Me and my mom always wanted to go to World Showcase, but we just never did. So, yeah, which is a shame, of course. But yeah, but like I hope to go back to Walt Disney World eventually. I almost went this year. But I never bought I mean, I was always thinking about like buying tickets, but I just didn't buy tickets to Disney or a plane ticket or anything. I didn't set up any of that. Cause I don't know if I want to travel this year, to be honest, like, I don't know. It's possible, but I don't necessarily see myself traveling or getting on a plane anytime soon this year. So, yeah, I don't know, but it's really possible. But yeah, but hopefully soon, if not next year, hopefully I can go to Walt Disney World very soon. Let's see. Virginia Lake says Wondrous Journeys is fantastic, so magical. Absolutely. Again, it's one of my all-time favorite Disneyland. All my all-time favorite Disneyland fireworks of all time. Shane says, also, I ate at this German restaurant, which was fantastic. But the fact that we needed to walk for like 12 hours just to get our basic human rice is insane. That's at the World Showcase. Like, that, yeah, do they have a German restaurant at World Showcase? Is that what you mean, or was it something else? I'm assuming that's what you were talking about. Again, I've never been to the World Showcase, so I don't know everything there. You know what I mean? So it's yeah, I have no idea, but yeah, again, if I go back to Epcot anytime soon, I'm 100% doing a World Showcase. Because, again, me and my mom never got to do it together, so I have to do it regardless. You know what I mean? So yeah. Exploration says, sadly, they're not showing Illuminations anymore. Now it's Epcot Forever, which is cute because of the kids choir singing the oldest Epcot songs from 1983, but not exactly as good as Illumination, sadly. Yeah, I've seen some videos of Epcot Forever, and it is a fairly good. It's a nice homage. It's a nice homage, I guess you could say, to Epcot itself. But yeah, I mean, well, Epcot Forever was never going to be like a permanent placeholder for the newer show. You know what I mean? Like, once Illuminations was gone, they were eventually going to do Harmonious, which they did. So Epcot Forever was just kind of like a placeholder for the next show. And it's currently still the same thing. It's a placeholder for the next show, Luminous. So, which is definitely going to be interesting. I'm very curious about what that show is going to be. You know, I'm hoping it's a good one. I'm really, really hoping it's a good one. But yeah, I miss Illuminations. I wish there was a way for them to bring that back. But man, I wanted to go to the last showing, but of course, wasn't really gonna happen. I had no plans to go to Orlando at that point. So yeah, like, I really, really wish I could have done that. Let's see. It's something says, are you surprised that Adventure Time Fiona and Cake is rated TV PG in Canada and Australia instead of TV 14? I'm gonna have to assume that in Canada, I haven't seen the show, but I've seen clips of it, and I can 100% understand why it's not coming to Cartoon Network here. But I'm gonna guess that, and I don't know, maybe in Canada and in Austria, they're going to do some edits to where it's still going to be able to, well, at least in Canada, they're going to do some edits to where they're going to still be able to air it on their Cartoon Network. Not 100% sure, and maybe that's going to be technically the same in Australia. So I'm not quite sure when it comes to that. But yeah, it's kind of weird, because again, with some of the clips I've seen of that show, it's like, how is it going to air on Cartoon Network in Canada? So yeah, so again, they might do some excuse me, they might do some edits to that, but I really have no idea. Gillian says, which movie do you like better, Finding Nemo or Shark Tank? Finding Nemo, no contest. Like, Finding Nemo and Shark Tank. I mean, I think that goes without saying. If anyone chooses Shark Tank over Finding Nemo, get out. Okay? And I'm not saying that because Finding Nemo is like my all-time favorite Disney movie. But it's because, like, Finding Nemo fundamentally is a good film. Shark Tank? No. I mean, Shark Tank. I said Shark Tank. That's a show, not Shark Tale. Wow. Okay. Rewind. Finding Nemo is a great movie. Shark Tale... you know, like, I mean, you can still watch it to get somewhat of a laugh of it, but fundamentally, it's not a good movie. So, yeah, I don't know why the hell I was saying Shark Tank. What the heck? That's crazy. Let's see. There was something. Okay, so Shane, yeah, says that they do have a German restaurant. Okay, at Epcot. Mason says, I think, actually, let me see if I can find, like, an earlier, Mason Ringley says, yeah, Bambi's children were named Geno and Guri. And I'm guessing it's, I don't know. I'm not quite sure. Let's see. Okay, so Shane says, also another thing to mention is that I went with my friend and his stepdad works at Disney, so me and my mom were able to go for free. You're lucky. All right, you're very lucky. You were able to have somebody that could take you to Disney for free. I mean, look, I've had people buy me tickets a couple of times to go to Disney, which is a blessing, of course, because Disney is expensive. But yeah, just to be able to go for free is awesome. It just feels better when you don't have to pay for it sometimes. Even though me buying tickets to Disneyland, like, it does kind of make me view it in a different perspective, where it's kind of like, yeah, you know what, honestly, with the theming and the kind of rides you have and yada yada yada, and you're there for hours, you know, it's kind of worth the money. It's expensive, but, like, you know, I can't necessarily say it's not worth the money. It's why I pay those crazy prices, because I find it to be worth it, because every time I've gone to Disneyland, I've had an amazing time there. You know, I still have great times at Disney, even when I've had a headache. You know, like, I still had a great time at Disneyland, so I can't say that it's not worth it. You know, so it's a whole thing. Jalen says, tomorrow Cartoon Network will premiere Jessica's Big Little World, and Netflix will drop Strawberry Shortcake and the Beast of Berry Dog. I didn't even know that Netflix was still having some preschool shows. Definitely did not hear of Beast of Berry Dog. And yes, Jessica's Big Little World premieres tomorrow. Technically on Cartoon Neato, because that is still their time slot, but also, in a weird way, they're also, like, after they air it on Cartoon Neato, they air it a little later during that day on Cartoon Network as well. So that's kind of interesting, in my personal opinion. Michael says, when will the next video be? I can't exactly give you an answer on that, because I'm not quite sure when the next video will be. I don't really have an idea for what the next video will be if I do make another one, so I'm not 100% sure on that. Oh, shoot, okay. Let's turn that down a little bit. Hold on, just a very, very, very quick second. And also, I might, yeah, I'm just putting on another, I mean, it's gonna be, like, very low anyway, so it's kind of, yeah, but hold on, just very quick second. I didn't even mean to click on that, but you know what, that's good. That's good, that works. Okay, alright. So let's see. Okay, let's see. Blue, the saber-toothed rat says, man, at this point, Disney has lost its magic, even at the parks. Even the parks lost it. You know, it's interesting, because, like, yeah, Disney definitely has lost a lot of its magic, 100%. The interesting thing is, like, when I hear people talk about, like, Disney losing, say, the magic they used to have the parks, I see way more of that sentiment at, say, like, the Walt Disney World parks instead of at Disneyland. You know, because I even see people, like, from Disney World that are, like, vloggers at Disney World. They come over to Disneyland, they see just, like, how different it is, not in terms of, like, how small things are, but, like, how, or, you know, because Disneyland is the original park. They often kind of point out certain things that Disneyland does that Disney World doesn't, and they kind of, because of that, they kind of make it, they themselves kind of say, Disneyland just feels a little bit more special, you know? And I think part of it is that, like, because it's mainly a locals park, even though they're kind of trying to turn it into a tourist park, if anything, like, I think because of the fact that, you know, again, most people who go to Disneyland are locals, there's not really a lot that they can get away with in terms of, like, changing certain, like, operations. It's, like, not really easy for them. Like, if they want to change a certain area into a store where they can sell things, like, people are going to be pissed, which it did happen once. They tried turning, like, the Main Street Cinema into, like, a place where you can go in and buy merchandise. People were so mad at that they ended up just saying, okay, yeah, scrap that idea. It's just, now it's the Main Street Cinema again, you know? So, yeah, so again, I think things like that, they're not able to get away with, you know? They can't make, you know, they gotta have to try to still make it special in the way that Disneyland is, you know what I mean? So, yeah, again, I can't necessarily say that for Walt Disney World, because I haven't been to Walt Disney World in a long time. I'm just hearing from, like, say, what I've heard from people when it comes to them talking about, like, you know, Disney parks and whatnot. Let's see. It's something says on Cartoon Network Canada, after the advertisements, they give a parental guidance is advertised warning. Give a parental guidance and is advertised warning before Fiona and Cake starts, which I'm assuming that the series is uncut. I don't think, look, from what I've seen and some of the language that they use, because they do curse in this particular show, all right? It can't be uncut. Now, if Canada is allowed to air a show where, damn, I guess I'm hungry. But if Canada is able to air a show where the characters, you know, even say the S word, right? Because I'm not going to necessarily say it here. I'm trying to be a little bit more family friendly here. But if Canada is able to air shows where they could just straight up say that word in a kid's show or in a whatever, then, like, fine. But, like, I doubt that. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure that they're going to have certain, like, censorship that happens. It wouldn't surprise me. Kawhi says Shark Tale is so bad it's good kind of movie, honestly. I fully agreed on that. Fully agreed on that one. Let's see. Yeah, I'm hungry. Okay, I might have to end this fairly soon in order to... I might have to. I don't know. I might have to end the stream kind of soon in order to give me something or make me something to eat. I wasn't wanting it to be too long anyway, so... Yeah. Either way, let's talk about Cartoon Network for a little bit. Shane says, honestly, Canada is the last place I expect swears to be uncensored in kids shows. Yeah, I agreed. Fully agreed on that one. Excuse me. But yeah, let's talk about Cartoon Network for a little bit, because I did mention I was going to talk about it earlier when somebody mentioned, like, the Teen Titans Go 100th anniversary special being delayed. So yeah, Cartoon Network, it's been weird. It's been very, very, very weird this past week. First of all, last weekend, right? Last weekend, it was the 100th anniversary special for Teen Titans Go was supposed to air, but it didn't, and what aired instead was an episode called The Intros, where apparently the Teen Titans Go kind of are running through different intros of different, like, shows, which, again, another freaking crossover, because that's all the show is. I don't even want to get into that. But, like, oh yeah, also today is Cartoon Network's 31st birthday. I totally forgot about that. That's right. 31 years. Can they even make it to 35 at this point? I don't know. But anyway, continuing. But yeah, for whatever reason, like, the 100th anniversary special was delayed. And we don't know when it's gonna air. Because we thought it was gonna air yesterday, right? But that didn't happen. They still aired the intro episode in place of the new episode or whatever. So it's been very strange. We don't know when that's gonna air. Again, I'm not gonna watch that. I'm just not gonna watch it at all. But again, it's delayed. We don't know when it's gonna air. It could air next weekend, and then it might not. Who knows at this point? But it's been very freaking strange. But excuse me. But, like, with Cartoon Network, there's been like some strange developments, you know what I mean? For one, I think the operation system that like all the Turner channels used to operate on has now been changed to like the Discovery operating system. And because of that, it's been very strange. Like a lot of things have been happening that's just been kind of, well, there's some things that have kind of happened that are, I guess you could say, good, and others where it's just been strange. Like, they've had a couple of, like, audio glitches early in the morning for, like, Amazing What a Gumball on the first day. Also, like, the schedule's kind of been out of whack. Like, the entire week, the schedule on the television guide has never been updated, right? If you were to look at the guide, you would think, say, at 9 o'clock, the Looney Tunes show would be airing. But no. The first 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, they aired Baby Looney Tunes, which I found to be interesting. Now, when I saw that on one of the guides that I guess was part of, like, Cartoon Network or Turner's API or whatever, that kind of reports on, like, what is actually going to broadcast of the day of and the next day or whatever, it showed Baby Looney Tunes, and I was like, huh, so Baby Looney Tunes is returning. So that made me question, well, is Cartoonito gaining that gaining an hour back or something? I couldn't really tell, right? But Baby Looney Tunes aired for an entire hour for Monday and Tuesday. And then Wednesday to Friday, it was Teen Titans Go during 9 o'clock hours. Which was like, okay, so that happened. It was very weird that they ended up kind of switching it very quickly. But then also, dude, hey, what's up? I'm glad to see you back in the stream. And then, like, what else happened? Clarence used to air at, like, 1 o'clock. Was it 1 o'clock? Yeah, it used to air at, like, 1 o'clock to 2, I think. And now that was only at 1, I think it was only at 1 o'clock for Monday and Tuesday. It was something weird. I don't fully remember, but, like, another schedule change was that Clarence is now off, and it's just more Amazing World of Gumball. Of course. And we have a little bit more Craig of the Creek, too, at 1 o'clock, so, yeah, it's been very freaking weird when it comes to, the schedule. Like, certain changes there. Also, even, like, Checkered Past had kind of, like, a weird schedule change, right? Like, the first day, at least for Dexter and Ed, Edd n Eddy on Monday, they aired, like, they aired one of the same episodes that I think they aired the first day. Well, no, at least with Dexter's Lab, they aired, like, one of the episodes. Or let's just put it this way. They aired a repeat of, like, 2 episodes for Dexter and Ed, Edd n Eddy, which I found to be strange. Also, they were kind of doing, like, a thing where they were trying to, like, crop the show a little better, I think. Or crop it differently than they have been. Especially with Ed, Edd n Eddy. Because with Ed, Edd n Eddy, they kind of have, like, this weird, like, say, stretchy edges. And you can definitely see it when, like, the camera pans. And it's kind of like a weird effect that they do. And so, I think they've been airing, like, some of the episodes where it's just cropped. And it's the edges are not weirdly stretched out. Which I think is a good thing. But then, like, say, at the end of the week, right? Usually for Checkered Past, what they tend to do is the end of the week, they do kind of like a marathon. So, like, on Friday, you'll have all episodes of Dexter. Or on that, or you would have all episodes of Ed, Edd n Eddy. Or all episodes of Courage the Cowardly Dog. Or all episodes of Billy and Mandy, right? That's how they've been doing it for the past month. For whatever strange reason, this week, or technically last week, right, when all this happened, because technically we're in a new week right now, they did it where on Thursday they did the marathon of Dexter. And again, the guide didn't change at all. It still showed all the other shows, but it was just airing Dexter that day. And then on Friday, they literally had, again, on the guide, Dexter, but it was just the regular schedule with Dexter, Ed, Edd n Eddy, Billy and Mandy, and Courage. And it was like, what is going on with the schedule? It was the weirdest thing. I have no idea why all of that was going on. It was just so freaking confusing to me. Now, one of the things that Cartoon Network is currently doing as of right now, which a lot of people seem to like, is that at the end of these, of all of these, like, shows, right? instead of having like the split screen or the squeeze screen where you have like the or even like the on-screen credits, right, where the episode's still playing but you start seeing the credits playing like at the bottom left of the screen, right? Now you actually play like the full credits of all the shows. So that's been kind of interesting, and I welcome it. It's just a little issue when it's kind of, say, Craig of the Creek, right? Because they'll do like 15 minutes of the Craig of the Creek, well, 11 minutes of the Craig of the Creek episode, then they'll do the credits, and every single time there's another episode, now you have the intro Craig of the Creek playing. I think that's a little bit too much. I think, like, at the very least, have 30 minutes of Craig of the Creek episodes air, then do the credits for both episodes or something, and then you have the intro playing for the next 30 minutes of Craig of the Creek. Not every 15-minute time slot. That's a little strange to me. Virginia Lake says, dinner time, see you at Speculation Sunday. Oh yeah, that's right, that's in an hour. But yeah, I'll definitely see you in the chat on Speculation Sunday. Very excited for that. Very excited to see what he has to say about Disney's newer, like, Heartbeat of New Orleans show that they have, which is only like a 5-minute little like projection show, which is cute, but I think I wish it was a little longer and had more music. The music in there was great, so I'm definitely excited to see what he has to say about that show. More so about what he has to say on that show in the stream, because he did go to the show on Friday and did a live stream of it. And so, yeah, I want to hear what he and Danny has to say about that. So I'm very excited about that. But yeah, I'll see you at Speculation Sunday in an hour on his channel, Virginia Lake. Thank you so much for joining the stream. And yeah, it is definitely dinner time for me too. So I think I'm gonna have to end it pretty soon because my stomach is growling as well. So I'm getting hungry. Yeah. So yeah. So let's see. There was one thing. There was one thing that I think it was your mom made a comment or something. I don't fully. Yeah, he says, honestly, I don't really seem to care about Cartoon Network anymore since they don't really have a lot of shows other than Teen Titans Go, Amazing World of Gumball, and Big City. You're a little wrong about that. Big City Greens is on Disney Channel. It's not on Cartoon Network. And you know, let's talk about that a little bit. Cartoon Network, like, this week, again, with the whole schedule changes and whatnot, like, they kind of took away a little bit more variety from their schedule, right? Because even though it wasn't a ton of variety, right? They took away the Looney Tunes show. They had Baby Looney Tunes for 2 days, and then it was just replaced with Teen Titans Go. They took away Clarence as well, right? And so, for the most part, so besides Summer Camp Island, right, which is also now no longer airing anymore, I think, in October. I don't know if that's ever going to come back or if it's literally just gone off the schedule. I don't know. But, now it's literally Teen Titans Go, then some Amazing World of Gumball, then a little bit of Summer Camp Island. No. And then I think it's actually, right now, well, besides Scooptober, right? Because we are in Scooptober right now. But last week, basically, the schedule was mainly just Teen Titans Go, Amazing World of Gumball, and Craig of the Creek. That's it. Which was a little annoying that we got rid of some shows. Like, I wish they would still add some more variety. But again, at the same time, Cartoon Network ends at 5 p.m. as of right now. So I don't think there's really much that they can do. But even then, still, I do think that they should still air some previous shows. Like, air OKKO, air We Bear Bears. Also air We Baby Bears. We Baby Bears barely freaking airs on the channel. I don't understand that. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. It's also weird that they add Wee Baby Bears into the promo where they say, hey, in the month of August, you see Wee Baby Bears and Craig of the Creek and blah, blah, blah. But you barely even see them airing any episodes at all. So, like, why even add that to it doesn't make sense. So, it's weird, in my personal opinion. But like, now, since we are into Scooptober, might I add, excuse me, Says, was that pun intended? What pun? Was it something I said, or was it something chat said? I don't know. But yeah, like, but now, since we're in Scooptober, the schedule, of course, is a little different because you do have the Scooby-Doo movies airing. I don't think, do they air every day? I don't think they air every day. At least they were doing like a Scooby-Doo marathon today. But as far as I know, they're airing some of the movies of Scooby-Doo, but also I think a couple of the series are also going to be, oh, I see, that We Baby Bears barely airs on the channel. No, that was not intended. Okay, that wasn't intended, I swear to God. But yeah, but like Scooptober, like I think they're going to be airing a couple of series from, or some of the Scooby-Doo series as well. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that is going to happen. I don't particularly know the full scope of the schedule for the month, but yeah, it's the schedule is going to be a little different. Even Cartoonito is a little different because now, right, because of the addition of Jessica's Big Little World airing at 8 o'clock, you have Cocomelon for like the first 30 minutes, I think it's like for the first 45 minutes, and then you have Bat Wheels airing for that 15 minutes of that time slot. Then you have then at 8 o'clock, wait, shoot, no, that's not right. No, they start at 7:30. Yeah, so Cocomelon would be at the first hour, at the first 30 minutes, and then Jessica's Big Little World, then Bat Wheels, and then Thomas and Friends, and then Bugs Bunny Builders, and then it goes to Cartoon Network. But that's only on Mondays because Thomas and Friends only does like new episodes on Mondays, and so Thomas and Friends gets replaced with more Cocomelon. So yeah. But yeah, like, so things have definitely changed a little bit. Somebody mentioned somebody asked me in the chat, is Cartoonito gonna get any sort of time extension? And I think it is definitely possible that it could happen. Not anytime soon, but it's very possible that it could happen. And one of the reasons why I say this is because, again, we do still have shows coming in the future. One of these shows, I think one of the entertainment like studios, I think it was called like 9 Story Media or something. They recently had like a conference at like a some sort of animation summit, I think, and they mentioned that Lady Bird Lou, right, which is now called Lady Bird and the Bally Bunch or something, Lady Bird Lou, I think. And that was a show that was always like slated to come to Cartoonito, but we haven't heard of it for a while, and it's been airing episodes in the UK and some other countries and whatnot, right? But excuse me, but recently they again had like a conference, I think, at some like animation thing, and they did mention that they did mention that Lady Bird and Lou and the Bally Bunch, they did mention that it is still coming to Cartoonito in the US sometime next year, I think, or sometime soon. So that tells me that like that's still coming. Bees Block probably is still coming. Silly Sundays, which is also another show that I talked about a little bit on the channel, and it's also airing in another country right now, same as Bees Block, right? Those probably are still coming. And then also don't forget, we still have Barney. Barney is still coming too. So because of that, if we're still getting like a new slew of shows coming to Cartoonito, then I would have to imagine that you will get an extension of Cartoonito. And yeah, that is going to sound a little painful for Cartoon Network because, again, Cartoon Network currently ends at 5 p.m. But here's the thing. Will Cartoon Network still be ending at 5 p.m.? Is that permanent or is this temporary? I don't know. Because, again, Cartoon Network is also going to be getting some new shows eventually, right? So, will they still be ending at 5 p.m. or will Cartoon Network also gain any hours back? I'm kind of curious to see if any of that is excuse me, I'm curious if any of that is like temporary, right? So like Cartoonito only lasting for 90 minutes, that might be temporary. Cartoon Network ending at 5 p.m., that could be temporary. Again, this is all speculation. I have like legitimately no idea if it is going to be permanent that they're ending at 5 p.m. right now. Because also that wouldn't mean, and might I add, that would not mean that Checkered Pass would go away. It would probably mean that Checkered Pass could also be pushed back to a later time slot. You know what I mean? But that also depends on how well Checkered Pass is doing. Because I don't know if it's doing well right now or if it's not doing well. You know what I mean? So, yeah, there's a lot of things, and maybe that's a video I could talk about. It's like, you know, with how things currently are with Cartoon Network, could things change in the future with time slots and everything? I don't know. It's definitely possible, but who knows? We don't have a Jade Armor in the US. Yeah, and that's also another thing. Will we get Jade Armor in the US? I don't know, right? I would have to imagine that we do get Jade Armor still in the US, because again, that's another show that was slated to come to Cartoon Network, right? But we haven't heard anything about it, and what I've kind of learned is that unless we hear word from anybody saying that the show has been canceled or that the show's no longer coming to the US or whatever, to kind of just hold your breath on that, right? Because, you know, sometimes you just never know. Sometimes you just never know. And it's the same with, like, say, season 2 of Mao Mao. We haven't heard from anybody that's worked on the show whether the show is canceled or not, right? We haven't heard anything about that. So we don't know where things are or where things stand as of right now. I hate that we're in such a freaking confusing time for Cartoon Network. It is frustrating. Let me make that clear. At the same time, though, like, I am just very curious as to where things go with this channel, because I would like for things to get better. You know what I mean? But it's just like, it's foggy. You know, there's like really no clear future as of right now. So, yeah. But also, again, don't forget when it comes to Cartoon Network, in a month, well, a little over a month, because it does premiere sometime in November, Valiant Prince Ivandoe is coming to Cartoon Network. Don't forget about that. Also, another show that's coming soon is Invincible Fight City, I think. I think that's the name of the show. There's also a Inyanu, I think that's the name of the show. It's a Nigerian, like, animated show. That's also going to be coming very soon. So we do have new shows coming to Cartoon Network. Again, we just don't know when. Some of them are coming, and also if we do have even more shows coming, right? Invincible Fight Girl, I think that's the name of the show. Okay. If we still have new shows coming and whatnot, can Cartoon Network still have their current time slot where they start at 9 o'clock and they end at 5? Is that still going to be feasible for them? And again, also the same with Cartoonito. If Cartoonito is still getting new shows, which obviously we got Jessica's Big Little World that premiered, so I think that kind of does tell me that Cartoonito isn't particularly going to go anywhere. But again, at the same time, I'm not really fully sure on that either. Like, I don't know. Like, I have no idea. But again, at the same time, like, if Cartoonito does still continue to get some more new shows, which, like, the ones that I listed, right? Then, excuse me, then, if they're getting more shows, they would need to expand, right? They would either need to take the 6 o'clock time slot back from Cartoon Network and maybe take the 9 o'clock time slot and possibly the 10 o'clock time slot back from Cartoon Network as well, which I don't know if that's something that they would do. But again, if they are going to get if they're still getting new shows for this channel, say next year, they can't last for 90 minutes per day. That just wouldn't make sense. And then if they were to have to do that, then Cartoon Network couldn't end at 5 p.m. because then they would have less time. You know what I mean? So all stuff is in the air. We have, like, no idea what's going to happen, you know? Because again, it's kind of like, there's not really like there's not like a clear future, I guess you can say, when it comes to Cartoon Network, because the way that they've been kind of showing things right now, it's been very rough, you know? Like, we don't know what's going on with the channel. So, we're gonna have to just wait it out. We're just gonna have to see what happens, I think. But yeah, that's where I'm at with things when it comes to Cartoon Network. I do hope that things get better, but it's definitely, unfortunately, it's possible that it may not get better, which sucks. But you never know. You never know. Yeah. And also, I wonder if, like, Cartoon Network has, like, moved into that new studio building, and if they fully moved back into, if they fully moved into the new studio building, will we be able to see anything ramping up for Cartoon Network at any time? I don't know. I would have to hope so. Also, like, I really want to know where Cartoons is. You know what I mean? Like, we had word that we were gonna get some cartoon shorts, right? And we've yet to hear anything about it for the most part this year, but I'm wondering if that's still a thing. I hope it is. I really hope it is. Because those shorts could potentially be made into new shows for Cartoon Network in the future, right? That's always possible. Again, you never know. But I hope we hear something about that very soon. So, yeah, as you can tell, there's a lot of hoping when it comes to Cartoon Network, you know? Like, I don't want to lose hope, and I'm kind of gaining a little bit more back, but again, as I said, it really just depends on, like, where things go from there. We're definitely in a very weird time as of right now, but I hope that things can at least turn around for the channel eventually, whether it be at the end of this year, whether it be at the beginning. If it's at the beginning of this of next year, and we see a much better channel, or we start seeing, like, them making better moves and more shows are starting to come or whatever, then I don't know. It really, it's, who knows? So, yeah, that's where I'm at in, personally with Cartoon Network. And that's kind of, yeah, so, yeah. Shane says, hi, Josh. Josh, I'm back. I didn't think the stream would last this long. Neither did I. I always say it's not going to last 2 hours, but it almost ends up always ending up being 2 hours long. And, you know, sometimes I try to end it earlier and whatnot. I am going to actually end the stream as of right now because I am definitely getting hungry and I need to make me some food. And there's some other things that I also need to take care of as well. So, yeah, so with that being said, thank you guys so much for joining in on this stream. I really do appreciate it. It was kind of like a last minute kind of stream because, you know, I know that I haven't necessarily been posting a lot of videos. I posted some shorts. I posted one last week. Hopefully I could ramp that up just a little bit, but also hopefully I can do like a full-on video soon. I just have to figure out what it would be. It could be about the state of Cartoon Network and maybe where things are going in the future. I have no idea, but it really depends. But we'll see what happens in that regard. But yeah, so hopefully I can put up a video this week, and if not, maybe I do a short, and if not, then it's gonna be a week of emptiness, if that makes sense. That sounded weird, a week of emptiness, like what? But yeah, but again, thank you guys so much for joining in the stream. Really do appreciate it. I hope every single one of you had a good last week, and hopefully this week is a good week for you as well. And we're in the month of October, so the month of Halloween. I am definitely very excited for Halloween. And again, I'm just very excited for a lot of things that are happening on in my life throughout this month as well. Yeah, again, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a good day, have a good week, and remember, you're hearing it from a regular bunny in a regular world. Peace out, and as always, thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Want to say goodbye to a couple of people before I actually officially end it. So, Jonathan, Moneyman, your mom, Jessica, Sector Wolf, Gillian, I think I already said Moneyman, Mark Jones, bodies are in the freezer, Northwestern Railway, Jessica, I think Dorothy, Zach Notes, Kawaii Life, Antonio, I think I said Shane. Did I say Shane? No, Shane. Everybody that's here, again, thank you guys so much. If you were here throughout the entirety of the stream or you had to go or whatever, thank you so much for being part of the stream. So have a good night, everybody, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Oops. And there we go. Thank you, everybody. Good night.